Hi, this is Mark with my analysis for Wednesday the 19th. I'm going to have a look at FX. There's some good potential trades lining up. Also going to have a quick look at stocks and oil and a bit of crypto as well. So at the moment this week it's been mixed, to say the least. We've had some negative news came out for the UK, which was more jobs, more unemployed. On the other hand, average earnings go up. So as you know, if people earn more money, they spend more money, and therefore that is good for growth potential. Canadian news again was mixed. CPI is down, that's good. Median's up, and then common's down, so that's all over the place as well. And then CPI this morning, so core price inflation in the UK is up. It still shows on Forex Factory as a positive, and it's obviously not. On top of that, I was reading yesterday, food inflation in the UK is still up around 18 or 19%. And some bread and cheese I was reading about yesterday is up 100% in the last year or so. So clearly inflation is not going away despite all the government manipulation of figures. So let's have a look at some potential setups in FX. US dollar index. I said to you, if you have a look back about a week or so ago, I made a video and I said that it was coming down to a double bottom. And that would be a clue, and this was where it came. This was when I made the video, pointed out this was double bottom. And if this was going to bounce back up, then we would anticipate the dollar Swissy to follow. And then I showed you why I was more interested in shorting the euro. Quick flick through oil. Oil has broken a major trend line. If you missed oil stocks earlier in the year and you're interested in buying, this could well be your opportunity. So if this keeps dropping temporarily at least, then that could be a chance to get into oil. Gold is now pulling back. I've shown you last week as well. There were multiple examples, even on weekly charts, of metals and Forex of MACD divergence, which, as I put in here last week, was a clue that we could be about to turn back down again. And that is what is happening at the minute. I have got gold. I showed you back in February time, I was going to be a buyer of gold at 18.20 again, and it came down within 10 pips of it, came down to about 18.08 I think in the end, 18.5. I bought in here. We've had a major move up. Don't want to sell it because I still think the recession is going to tank, and if I sell it I create a taxable event, so I am hedging it, and I can show you that in a little while. I would be a buyer of gold again anywhere back down around 18.60 this time. Anywhere in here. I don't want to be sat on lots of USD because I think as the year progresses that's not going to go well. Silver, I also showed you silver. I bought in at 22, 21, 20 in here. It shot up, and I think silver has the potential to go further than gold. It's currently sat on a major support level, but if you look on the daily, it has broken a trend line. So again, I have shorted an ETF for silver, and I would be a buyer of silver anywhere back down here. Fundamentally and technically the high in silver all time was $49, so this has the potential to at least double. Silver is the second to gold, as we know. It's also used in lots of manufacturing processes. Yes, it may be a recession coming. Yes, Apple are producing less and selling less at the moment, as with others, but it's also used in the solar panel industry. And Europe at the moment, Germany insanely closed its last nuclear power station yesterday, so they're now back on more fossil fuels than ever, but solar is the way to go. So I would be a buyer again, and same levels again, 22, 21, etc. Bitcoin is also back at the moment below 30, but it's back, and it's sat exactly on this trend line I've had in, support line I've had in here for a considerable period of time. If this breaks, and I was wanting to add to Bitcoin, 25,000 would be the first place I would think about it. Ethereum might be the better bet again. Ethereum had broken above 2,000. It's testing it at the moment. This does not count as a break. Ethereum, I would be particularly interested in back around 1,500. I don't use leverage with crypto, so I only buy the actual asset. So back to that story about the dollar index through the week. I was showing you that if the dollar index rebounded, so would the Swissy. The issue with the Swissy, there was nowhere to put the stop. There were no multiple reasons. The only reason was down here. Now, on this occasion, it would have worked. But what I did explain is the euro was a better bet, in my opinion. Now, I still have an order in down here to long if it pulls back for multiple reasons. But I was showing you why it would be, and again, we had MACD divergence, giving a clue it was going to drop. I was showing why up here you could short, you could be aggressive with the stock behind the 200 EMA, and that would be at the moment 130 in profit. USD CAD, I did actually catch this last week and it was naughty of me, I took it on the Friday. It's bounced to the pip off this 55 EMA, which is why I use these EMAs. It was also a whole number, and we look on the weekly, it was 61.8 fib, and weekly 55 EMA in an uptrend where previously there is major support and resistance. Clearly that was the spot. Pound at the moment makes no sense to me at all. We have got MACD divergence once again giving us a clue it could go down, but this is flip a coin at the minute and I have no multiple reasons for stops. Might be interested intraday here, but generally there are better opportunities elsewhere. I did have a short on the Aussie the other week. Now this is a bit messy as well, and again we're a bit no man's land. Intraday you might be wanting to watch around 68.30. New Zealand dollar, again we had that the other week. Aussie dollar we just looked at. Aussie CAD, now Aussie CAD is interesting. We have got a crossing of the EMAs and we've got the weekly in here as well. We had a breakout of a trend line, a significant area, had a couple of good trades out of this, a pullback into here and then a following pullback the next time. I have an order here and my order is at 90.80. Remember, if it's anywhere near the whole number, I go at least 10 pips below. Just below the fib, I have the stop 40 pips away, above the 61.8 and above this trend EMA, and therefore that's risking around 40, and I have the target down here for a potential 120. So 1 to 3 risk reward. If it does fire and it gets down here, I'd probably take about 80% off here and leave the balance, see if it could run further. Euro pound, I have 2 orders in here. I was showing somebody the other day, private student, how to scale in. So I have part of the order here at 87.28 and the other part here. The reason being 87.08, I think this one, I prefer here, but on numerous occasions in the past it hasn't got there, so I would rather catch some of it than none. And I was telling someone the other day who was thinking of longing it up here, I wouldn't touch it because we were in the face of this trend line. Now this is messy at the minute. These EMAs in the way, etc, but could be the start of a down channel. Euro is probably in as bad a mess as the pound at the minute, so it's very equal, but I would be longing there. Pound New Zealand, I don't like these crazy ones, but if you're going to look at these, I would suggest you consider the bigger picture with this. But down here again, you've only got, well, 65 pip stop, but a potential 1 to 10 risk reward on this one. That's the kind of trade that I'm interested in. In here and up here, I have no reasons for stops and therefore not for me. Pound Aussie, exactly the same pattern or virtually the same pattern and virtually the same thinking again. And again, you would be looking down here, a stop of 60 for a potential 600, 1 to 10. Pound Swissy, been waiting for ages. This needs to move down now. Probably not going to happen again this week, but again, I just wait. There's plenty of other opportunities. Aussie New Zealand, I don't get on with it. Pound CAD, very similar to the other ones I've just shown you. And again, you've got a stop here of 70 and a potential target. I think on my live account I've got up here at 400. Euro Aussie, similar pattern once again. You get the picture. New Zealand CAD, messy I think now. Euro CAD, again, similar picture. Breakout, pullback, into EMAs, into previous support and resistance, into Fibonacci. So that's a good run through for some potential 1 to 10 risk reward ratios. Quick flick now to have a look at the stocks. So as I've just shown you, the dollar index at the moment is bobbling around. It bounced off another line I had in here. Oil we've just looked at. Rig, this is the oil support industry that James and I are talking about. We were buying at cost average in at 3. We sold here half of it, so we took out the original stake once it had doubled. I bought some more the other week down here around 5.50, and I would be willing to buy this again. Just been upgraded I think by Morgan's to $8, and there's some suggesting 12. And the reason why I'm in this is this was way up to 13, and it was actually way up, I think it was around $100 a few years back. This is the support industry for oil. They are doing deals now that will last many years. and I am happy to buy that. Oxy, bought some of that the other week. This is the one that Warren Buffett now owns 20% of. My daughter told her to buy it and she went and forgot and went out. So I've suggested levels down here anywhere around 60 and especially down at 50. I would buy more at 50. Now quickly, Nasdaq. I am of the opinion this is going to tank. I am not buying, I am not shorting at the minute, and the same for the S&P. Could go on a last run up. What you tend to find, I've been doing this for nearly 30 years now with stocks and FX and all the rest of it. The last run up before the final drop is often the steep one, so we could get up to 45 again on the S&P. If it does, I would definitely be selling. I have sold this morning the UK FTSE. Makes absolutely no sense to me that the UK economy is in a complete shambles. The government are taxing everybody to death. The inflation is horrendous. I can see no reason on earth for this to be up here. I actually missed it. I had an order in at 8 and for some reason it didn't fire 8,000. So I was a bit spitting feathers about that. That was January. But I got in today. If it goes higher, I would sell again for sure. Gold I've shown you already. This is one way for hedging my gold mining stocks. So I have bought Junior Gold Miners Index and you can get leverage on here. I have a bit of leverage on this one. Amazon, I only want to sell. I think the underlying at the moment is not conducive for buying anything of the FANG stocks. So I'm leaving that lot alone. Definitely want to sell Nvidia. The valuation on Nvidia at the minute is insane. I think it's something like 85x. I would be very, well, I will will sell at 300. I've got an alarm set at the moment, 280, just to let me know if it breaks any higher, but this makes no sense. So I would be selling that as well. Right, I will be back with you at the weekend with my analysis for the week ahead. Have a good week and catch you later.